the demand, by the Trade Union Congress, TUC, for increase in minimum wage. And of course, our guest is the National President, Nigeria Union of Mine Workers, Comrade Hamza Muhammad. Very good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, and of course, Charity is still here, and we'll put him on the hot seat. Okay, clearly. Subsidy or no subsidy? Where do you stand?
Actually, where we stand is the right of the citizens.
Which is?
Which is, the citizen has to enjoy subsidy at all costs. That's their right as a citizen, because every citizen all over the world, they are enjoying what they have been subsidized from their government. So the Nigerian citizen has the right to enjoy subsidy, whether it's not just about the oil, no, about everything in life,
including the rice.
Including the rice.
Because if it's about enjoying what we produce, we can look at rice, we can look at yam, we can look at many other items.
Yes.
And today we say, okay, rice is about 32,000 naira per bag, and there's no subsidy in it.
Yes, no. When you look at even the rice, how much government are spending for farmers to farm the rice? Because at times, if there's even no subsidy from the farmers, what you are buying that you can't get it. Because government are spending a lot of money for supporting the rice farmers. That's what be able to farm, to cultivate a lot of rice from the farm. So the same thing with oil.
Yeah, but demand in Benue State will tell you that it's not getting subsidy from government in terms of farming of yam, and same thing with the baggy man in Niger, and of course those in Taraba. They'll tell you they have not seen as per subsidy.
Yes, they cannot see that. They cannot see directly. But if today the what do you call it, fertilizer that you will buy, government subsidize the fertilizer, this means that you have got the subsidy, whether you know or you don't know.
Whether you buy or you
whether
don't
you
buy.
No, if it didn't buy, then how will you farm without getting
without fertilizer?
So when they use manure,
there are those that cannot access it.
Yes. If it didn't, that one is not the fault of the government. This means that this thing has been put in place.
Okay, comrade, we said it is the right of the citizens to enjoy this. Okay, what is those who are saying that it is the right step in the right direction? That it's time coming.
What happened? Really, what happened in the area of oil subsidy? Everybody knows. Even those ones that they are not in Nigeria, they know that there's a lot of scam. There's a lot of fraud in the subsidy. So, based on that, I think the labor union, there's a certain agreement that reached with the federal government many years back that our has to come to a function of refineries. And then government has to build a new refineries to complement. From there, remove the subsidy. Why are we saying subsidy? Because at all the time, we are not referring the fuel that we're supposed to use. That's why after exporting the crude oil, then we brought in the refined product. So if government failed to build a refinery
over the years,
it is the fault of the government or it's of the citizen. So government has to bear it. Government has to bear it. When you cannot build a refinery, employ your citizen, you are taking your employment outside, then you blame the citizen because they are right to enjoy that subsidy, because they are the citizens of this country. You cannot go to outside Nigeria and say that you want to enjoy. No, when you go there, you have to abide by the rules and the regulations. But this is your country. This is where you have your all right that you have to enjoy as a citizen. As you cannot buy, you cannot go to Japan and then buy a car in Japan the same rate that you buy it in Nigeria. Then you cannot compare the fuel that you buy in Nigeria, because this is what we have. You cannot compare that.
You can buy same grade in Japan.
You can buy
so long as you have the money.
You can buy the same grade.
So long as
but you cannot get it in the same price.
No, of course. It's when the quality is not the same. I mean, it's like you want to buy a Mercedes car and a Volkswagen car. There are two. It's like you want to buy Bentley now, hybrid of Mercedes.
Yes.
Or you want to buy Lexus, the hybrid of Toyota.
Yes.
Or you want to buy Acura, the hybrid of Honda. They're not the same.
Their categories. That one, they're not the same. But what I'm saying, if this is a Honda, maybe 2012, no 2019, that you buy it in Japan, and then you cannot buy the same that 2019 in Nigeria with the same amount, because you import it from Japan to Nigeria. So the same thing, that the oil that we have, you will not compare our price with the foreign price, because this is Nigeria and then that's the Japan. So that's what I'm saying. As in Nigeria, whatever be the cost, we must enjoy our subsidy.
So if I understand you correctly, you're saying that Nigerians are being made to suffer for what the government didn't do.
Yes.
Over the years.
Is that what you're implying?
Yes.
No, I don't think government wants Nigerians to suffer. It is just opening, some say is this government is enlightening Nigerians to the fact that this issue should have been done and dusted many years ago. We have this product, for example, when we were buying for 194, it means government is paying, when you pay 194 naira, government is paying 342 naira for you, because it's 537. So when you remove 194, you have 342. So if you pay 194, government pays 42 naira for you.
Then if we ask question, how do we arrive in that price, in that 537?
So the Melek can explain, because it has been
yes.
Yes, he
needs
to explain that.
Because what
is the question many people are asking.
Yes, because
how did you
we must
arrive
ask, how do you arrive in that figure? Because all what we know, they are talking about the landing cost. Landing cost, as a Nigerian, is not our problem. What we are saying, refine this product here in Nigeria.
But you don't have the capacity to.
Why don't we have the capacity? We don't have how many engineers that at all we did petrochemical engineering and so on and so forth, that every year we have been graduating in. Then what is the need of graduating engineers without putting them into practice? Refineries. And then we are talking of the now Dangote has built refinery. We are talking about $19 billion. Then the turnaround
about
of
13.
Then we are talking of the turnaround maintenance. Turnaround maintenance for those years now is more than the money that the Dangote spent to build.
What we need is about 2.8 billion for turnaround maintenance.
Look at it, it's too exorbitant.
Now that we have the situation now, until you guys for a review of it, do you think, would you say that would
if you look at minimum wage, that's the only problem of the labor.
okay?
How many Nigerians are employed salary? What of them that they are not collecting salary? How do they survive? That's the.
So even the wage for those that are with the government, it's for those that are with the government.
Not
what
for
about
private
those
sector.
private sector?
So then, even the private, how those private sector can survive with the change? When you look at the amounts,
Renewed hope.
just in job particular, and then if you look at it, we know there is a problem that happened somewhere. When Sinini was a governor of Central Bank, he raised alarm. Then when alarm that some certain amount of money that after it being it's not coming back to the account of the government. Up to now, what is there a reasonable step the government has taken? They have stopped all those things. Then the Central Bank of Nigeria, there must be a total reshuffle from Central Bank and the NNPC.
You mean the workers should be sacked?
Yes.
Why?
If now we are not getting results, and you know, to be there for the interest of Nigeria. No.
Yeah, but you can give them an ultimatum. You can, tweak their. You can give them a new mode of operation.
New mode of operation
that has been given to them.
So if you look at if there is no any mode of operation, if they have for years, I think they have enough. So that let's new blood, so that government will give a directive, and then the directive will be obeyed. Because somebody there for a 30, 20 years, accumulating a wealth, it must be a total reshufflement from NNPC to central, so that at least this government will have a free flow in the economy.
Yeah, but what do you make of the negotiating power of this administration? You know, there have been meetings held with aggrieved workers, and at the end of the middle of strike, that of the NLC, beside the fact that court has said you cannot go on strike, but after that meeting with representative of the presidency, they said, okay, strike ended. What do you make of it? You are the NLC, you are an affiliate of the NLC. Are you okay with the decision taken by the body?
Yes, you know, at all the time, strike, that's the last option. Because even in a normal sense, if you look at we resolved that we're going on total shutdown. We look at it, are you going on protests? No. Why? Some are even planned to the protests. So if that should be the case, at all the time, with a group of decent people, at all the time, we'll look at it holistically before we take a final decision. So based on that, then the government approach, and then they continue without relenting. Then you continue approaching, continue engaging in certain meeting. Our aims is not to shut down. What we need is for the needful to be done. Because if without an adequate arrangement, we will be repeating. I think when President Muhammad Buhari came in power, we are even in the protest. Some even allowed the president to work because this money has been increased, because there's a lot of things to put in place, because the people have accepted that the government are going to do the right thing. Do you have our refinery in place now? No, because no proper plan. And then the people that remain in that particular place, they are no reshufflement. So which doesn't allow the government to take a good step in a good time. So that's what we're saying. This government must look at it inward to make sure a total change, so that from now to another 2 years, we will not be repeating the same thing.
No, some even say 2 years is even too far. Why don't you allow him 100 days, even with this subsidy removal, and see what the economy will look like? And they say, be patient. Why patient?
I think now the strike has been called off.
Yes.
So now, let's see.
In the next 100 days, let's see what happens.
Let's see what happens.
Okay, with this removal of subsidy, and we know that prices of commodities and everything has increased, and you are a comrade, you are a representative of workers and Nigerians in general, let's just say. So how do you see this panning out in the livelihoods of Nigerians?
It's very terrible. It's very terrible. because now, even when TUC present to increase of the minimum, has the minimum been increased? Even 1,000 that we are yearning for many years. Many governors were still battling with them. They cannot pay 30,000. Like we don't have a law in the country.
So that means the 200,000 the TUC is demanding will be like
it's unrealistic.
When are they going to start paying?
But do you think Nigeria has the capacity to pay that?
How many billions has been siphoned?
Allegedly.
If you look at how many work we have, the money that has been siphoned for even a single person is even more than the salary of the entire workers for a year. If we are ready to pay, we can pay. There's no any amount that is too much for the Nigerian government. Just go to Niger. You cannot compare their salary with our salaries.
Niger?
Yes, just Niger. That they used to have assistance from Nigerians. Their salary you cannot compare it with the salary of Nigeria. Why? So definitely the right of the people for them to have a good salary, that's why you even have people who will have the zeal to work because they have been paid for their labor. Talk less of you go to foreign countries that after taking care of your health, you have a steady power supply. Then your salary, you take so whatever amount that you can even buy and then they have a transport system that is not necessary that every time you must buy a foil. You can go by rail.
Okay, look at now obviously this has come to stay for now. Let's just agree, because as at yesterday, Nigerians were hoping that the organized labor will go on strike, but with the news that we have now, every plan of strike.
We have been persuaded to step.
Yes, and Nigerians will be wondering what was the level of persuasion, what must have happened behind these closed doors to warrant the suspension of the strike.
Oh, if you look at it, what we are doing, Nigeria first. Whatever we are doing, Nigeria first. That's the first thing. It's not matter of any arrangement of anything. Let me tell you, even at the beginning of this, they are even accusing the president of the NLC that is supporting Peter Obi. Is now want to punish the president. So if you look at it, you can't. People, is their right to say what they assume, but it's you there. You know that what you are doing, you are doing right or you are doing wrong. If you know that what you are doing, it will be process. When we look at it, when I feel it is not the president that will just sit and take a decision. No, it will be a central working committee that see the and all the presidents of the all 52 to 53 affiliates. They are members of central working committee. What they agree and adopt, that's why the president is going to.
Okay, you are so.
Yes, I'm sure, because I'm part of it. I'm part of the meeting.
So why
and then all the presidents, they have. It's not all of the same political party, because it is your right to belong to the party of your choice. Many of different categories, they support different presidential candidates. But when it comes to a labor matter, that one, politics apart. We are looking holistically to the development and progress of our nation. That's how we are.
You sound so sure that no matter what, there's not going to be, okay, we agreed on this, so you didn't do it, because that's what we've been hearing in the past. So why do you think that it's going to be any different this time around?
Yeah, that this present government are serious. That's my prayer. Because if they are serious in the sense of whatever they agree of labor, they are going to be implemented. That's why we are saying that labor should be part of implementation. So that at all the time,
part of the decision.
Part of the decision. so that at all the time we can be looking at the implementation policy.
So what you are saying now, if Labour was part of that decision making to say henceforth pump price ranges between 428 to 577, would that be okay?
No, it's not just part. It's not just part of. Because what we're saying, it's not just increase of the price is our problem. No. What is the sustainability of the economy if we are not refining our food?
Okay.
That's our main issue. To make sure they're independent. We are not relying in importing, because whenever we are importing, our economy cannot be.
Yeah, but you know, the issue is likened to, that's according to some school of thought, is likened to when we usually queue, you know, to make a phone call, where you have to go and buy a card from Nitel.
Those days.
And you slot it in, you dial, and then who is talking, you introduce yourself, you know, all those, before we now have the GSM. And now with the GSM, when it started, you know, to get it, then it was about 7,000. Now SIM is almost free.
Even more than, even the standard you are buying SIM 20,000.
Yes.
No, at some point it was 35,000 MTN.
Yes, now it's free. You also have a situation at that you call per minute. It's per minute. Even if you do 2-3 seconds, 48 naira. But because of the competition in the market, have a situation whereby we have you pay as you go. And today, that price war has pushed it down about 11 naira per minute. I mean 6 naira, 6-7 naira per minute, irrespective of the provider. So with this one, I say just be patient. In the long run, it will be beneficial. In the long run, you're going to have people import, because NNPC will no longer be the sole importer. If you can import at a lower cost and then lower landing cost, you are definitely going to sell also at a lower price. And the space also may be open, not only for Dangote to set up a refinery, we can even revamp our own. Even you can also build, so be patient. So how do you appeal, since you represent a chunk of them, to be patient in this?
Actually, workers are already patient because we don't have any option. And then Nigeria is our country.
Oh, good news.
What we are praying is for the best. But when you look at it, at all the time when we relay that they will import, after importing, we are even deceiving ourselves. We must establish our refinery, because they are all in the I don't think that if there is any country that they have an oil that they depend on importing. No, it's only Nigeria. Why? We must change that narrative.
It's a good one. We must change that narrative. It's coming from Comrade Hamza Muhammad, the National President, Nigeria Union of Mines. Thank you so much for your time with us. So hope to bring you again.